Oh yeah.
Fruits.
I don't know why I was doing like a Miley Cyrus hello Hannah Montana, you know, all of when it changes scenes.
Oh yeah.
And it's her like vocalizing. Hello. It sounds nothing like that, but okay.
You're welcome, everybody. The beginning of the episode is a little Hannah Montana.
Hey, it was either that or I was going to sing something from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, I was like, why?
Segue. Today, we are diving into the world of mermaids.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, I'm Niamh.
Mermaids.
I had a little epiphany while I was trying to make a TikTok that was like summer-themed podcast episodes. And I was like, we have like 2 that are barely summer-themed. I was like, everything else is autumn and winter. We have a lot of frosty stuff.
Yeah. I mean, summer is my least favorite season.
Yeah. Emily's cooking over there in Illinois.
Yeah. And I'm not one of the posers who suddenly likes fall.
Yeah. Hey, our very first episode is us like waxing lyrical about how much we absolutely adore autumn.
That's so funny.
Like, and that we just want it to be cold.
I frequently get so mad about it because now there's all these people who are like, oh my god, only 32 days left until like it's officially fall and stuff like that. And I'm like, where were all of you people when I was young and I loved fall and winter? And I would always talk about it and I would be like, it's my favorite season. And people would be like, ew, why?
You gotta go back to school then. Yeah, like I felt like I was going crazy because maybe it's like an internet thing and you absorb like global culture, but in Ireland, August is autumn.
What?
And I don't know if that like goes from like the Celtic calendar. Lunasa is the Irish word for August. Man 4, which means middle autumn, is the Irish word for September.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it's sort of migrated a bit because, once again, as we said before, like global warming, and August always seems to be the hottest month now.
Yeah.
So it's not very autumnal.
Not at all. It's when you know it's starting to creep in, but it's still hot outside.
And I mean, like, Jesus, like September now is still warm.
Even October over here, I'm just like, it is supposed to be 50 degrees. Why is it 80?
Primary school in the 90s, they were teaching us that August was the first month of autumn. So I'm sticking to that.
All right.
But yeah, this is coming out in September. So
surprise. It is kind of autumn at this point.
Yeah. But like, you can still probably go sea swimming. You can still probably go lounge at the beach.
If you're in the US,
do some nice
you for sure can.
Beachy things. Get your titties out.
Make a titty talk.
Let your hair down. Make a titty talk. Yeah. So yes, we are talking about mermaids today. We are not talking about mermen because this would have been 1,000 years long because there's actually a lot of stuff about mermen.
Of course.
In folklore. So let's just stick to the girls. Let's make it a girls episode.
Stick to the ladies.
Yeah, the mermaids. So we all know what mermaids are. We all know Ariel and her little clam bra, what she looks like. Mermaids are legendary sea creatures with the upper body of a woman and the tail of a fish. They have appeared in stories for thousands of years, from the shores of Ireland to the deserts of South Africa. The word mermaid itself comes from Old English. Just basically means sea girl. It just sounds so much cooler when you say mermaid.
Right.
The tales can vary from like this beautiful little like maiden that just needs help to really dangerous, volatile, evil creatures.
Like a siren?
Bringers of... We'll talk about sirens and we'll talk about the differences.
Perfect.
They're the bringers of storms and doom, and they lure sailors to watery graves, which I feel like is a lot more siren-y.
Yeah.
Because this is our hashtag feminist folklore podcast.
Let's put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Mermaids have always been fascinating symbols of rebellion and allure. They make for some pretty powerful feminist icons because they defy traditional gender roles with their mix of attractiveness and strength. Modern takes on mermaids show them as bold figures who break free from the constraints of womanhood that would normally hold them back. Mermaids represent the complexity of navigating a world where beauty and strength often come with peril, showing that true empowerment involves embracing both facets. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that just because you're beautiful doesn't mean that you're vulnerable. That's the way I feel all the time.
It's kind of like the whole you can't be pretty and smart or smart and pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is so annoying.
Yeah, groundbreaking notion that women are multifaceted, complex human beings.
Yeah, and whatever your face looks like doesn't really affect what your brain can do.
Exactly. Like some people are just genetic anomalies and they have it all.
Yeah, which is me.
Fair
I
play
know
to them.
you were all thinking it.
Very unfair on the rest of us. You should just be one or the other. But yeah, that's not the way life works.
Nope.
So let's get into the origins of mermaids. It's not clear when mermaids began. Humans have explored the sea as long as we have had the ability to explore the sea. We came out of the sea. So once humans had the ability to basically make ships and build vessels that could go into the sea, pretty much stories of mermaids have been around since then. One of the oldest tales is said to be from Syria around 1000 BC, where the goddess Atorgatis dove into a lake to take the form of a fish. As the gods would not allow her to give up her great beauty. Like, you're so beautiful, you can't, like, do this. Like, we can't lose, like, this gorgeous girl.
Yeah.
So they would only allow her bottom half to become a fish. The top half, like, she had to keep her titties and her hair, basically.
I was going to say, everybody's always been obsessed with boobs. Why?
It's insane. Archaeologists have found Atorgatis' figure on ancient temples, statues, and coins.
Wow.
Is it because it was socially acceptable boobs? Maybe. It's like, no, she's a goddess. I can look
Socially acceptable boobs.
So we're going to take a little trip around the world, as I usually do. Different mermaid tales in different places.
Mermaid tales. Sorry.
Oh, we should have a little pun chime.
We should.
Yeah, I'm going to insert it here.
Pun time.
West, South, and Central Africa, stories of Mamiwata, a mythical water spirit, are deeply rooted across multiple cultures. Mamiwata translates to water as mother or mother of the waters, but the spirit is not tied to one form. Her gender is fluid, appearing as either a man or a woman. Revered for offering beauty, healing, and wisdom, Mamiwata is also invoked to ward off natural disasters. That would be a handy one to have in your pocket.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
really.
Please no tsunamis, but also make me hot. With the rise of colonialism, we should also have a sad colonialism alarm.
We need a colonialism and a patriarchy alarm.
Yeah, because they both come in to ruin the party multiple times.
They need like
an episode.
Wah, wah.
With the rise of colonialism and the slave trade in the 1600s, Mamiwata's tales spread globally, becoming a powerful symbol for African communities reclaiming their traditions and cultural identities. So I like that. That's a little bit like Melina was telling us in
oh yeah,
our Mexican Witches episode, like that post-colonial reclamation of older deities and original deities.
Yeah.
I like that it's a lot of goddesses that they're going after.
For sure. They're like, screw Hercules. Screw Zeus.
So let's get it out of the way right off the bat. Sirens and mermaids. The mermaids of Greek and Roman mythology are quite similar to the ones we know today, often intertwined with sirens in ancient myths. While sirens and mermaids share traits, they're now considered separate beings. One popular Greek tale tells of Alexander the Great's sister, Thessaloniki, who became a mermaid after her death in 295 BC. I actually fell down a rabbit hole of watching like YouTube videos about Thessaloniki last night. It seems pretty crazy because she like came from like two really important families in like Macedonia, Greece. But yeah, she is said to have been turned into a mermaid after she died, which absolute goals.
That's so cool. A zombie mermaid.
Isn't it? Yep.
Or a ghost mermaid.
She really loved her brother because she was like a big cheerleader of his. She was said to have lived in the Aegean Sea. And when she met passing sailors, she would ask them, is King Alexander still alive? If they answered, he lives and reigns and conquers the world, she would let them pass safely. But if they said otherwise, she would unleash her wrath, summoning a storm to sink the ship and doom its crew.
Okay, but it's not their fault that maybe your brother is dead at this point.
Maybe he's a deadbeat now.
If they're like, oh no, he passed away, she's like, well, sucks to be you today, I guess.
I don't think I love my brothers that much.
Hopefully they're not listening to this podcast.
They definitely aren't. Is your brother still like thriving? And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
Quite the opposite.
And next we head to Southeast Asia for some mermaid fun. Southeast Asia gives us the tale of Suvannamaccha. In folklore from this region, particularly in the Thai version of the Ramayana, there's a story about a mermaid princess named Suvannamaccha, which means golden fish. As the tale begins, the hero Hanuman is trying to build a bridge of stones across the sea. In days of old, as the great Hanuman laboured to build a causeway across the sea, he found himself thwarted by mysterious forces beneath the waves. The noble Rama, seeking to rescue his wife Sita from the clutches of the demon king Ravana, called upon Hanuman to aid him in this perilous quest. Learning that Sita was imprisoned on the distant island of Lanka, Rama commanded Hanuman to construct a bridge from India to Sri Lanka so that his army might march to her rescue. With great determination, Hanuman rallied his band of Vanaras, and together they began casting massive boulders into the sea, laying the foundation for their bridge. Yet, as the days passed, they discovered that each night their labour was undone. The rocks they had cast vanished without a trace. Hanuman, undeterred, gathered a group of brave volunteers and waded into the sea to uncover the mystery. Beneath the waves, they discovered a host of mermaids, led by a captivating and elusive beauty. Every time a new rock was thrown, the mermaids would swiftly carry it away. Hanuman sought out their leader, a striking mermaid who danced just out of his grasp. Though he attempted to confront her, his efforts were met with failure. As time went on, Hanuman found himself enchanted by the lovely mermaid. Rather than force, he chose a gentler approach. Wooing her with silent tenderness, her heart softened, and soon they were united in the depths of the sea. In a moment of trust, Hanuman asked the mermaid why she obstructed the bridge building. The mermaid, revealing herself as Suvannamaccha, daughter of the demon king Ravana, confessed that her father had commanded her to thwart Hanuman's efforts. Moved by Hanuman's tale of Sita's abduction and Rama's quest, Suvannamaccha's heart was touched. She vowed to cease her interference and promised that her mermaids would return all of the stolen rocks to aid the causeway's completion. Their parting was bittersweet, as lovers' farewells often are. Yet their story did not end there. From their union, a new life would soon emerge. Suvannamaccha, bearing Hanuman's child, gave birth to their son Makanu, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their entwined destinies.
Never fall in love with a man.
Yeah. And that's sort of like the first story that we have that is mermaids falling in love with men, like human men. We will see a lot more as well that there are children that are born of this, which is interesting because mermaids don't seem to make the best mothers. Shockingly enough. They're like the original 90s girl boss moms.
Oh my gosh.
Like we said before, she can have it all, but it basically means abandoning her child.
You can have it all, but something's gonna suffer.
I did not find evidence that Suvannamaccha had actually abandoned her child. She has over time become a beloved figure in Southeast Asian culture, symbolizing the merging of epic mythology and local folklore. So, you know me, I have to bring some Irish tales into it. So in Ireland, mermaids are Merrows. Merrows are mythical creatures from Irish folklore. They are sea dwellers. They show up in Celtic mythology, and stories of Merrows primarily originate from the coastal regions of Ireland, which, it's an island. Like, what's she going to do? Be in the river? Like, that's so boring.
She lives in that little pond out back.
Yeah. She lives in the lake.
Yeah.
The term Merrow itself comes from the Irish word Murrough, from Mur, which means sea, and Duchan. Duchan is a chant or a song or a melody. Which, side note, have you heard of the animated movie Song of the Sea?
I don't think so.
So I only put it together that Song of the Sea comes from, like, that phrase comes from it. It's 3 movies that are based on Irish folklore that might be interesting for you to show your little one. Because there are some of them, like, they're in Irish language, but they're also in English.
Okay.
So there's Song of the Sea, The Secret of Kells, and then there's a third one. It's like The Wolf, something of wolves, but it's just like, they're just based on Irish mythology and they're little animated movies.
That's cool.
But Song of the Sea concerns selkies, which are separate, but I think that they got the name Song of the Sea from the Irish word for mermaid, which is Murrough Duchan. Yeah, that's just a little aside, because I was very proud of myself. I was like, oh, that's where they got Song of the Sea from. It's not just a snappy title.
I've cracked the code.
Merrows are often depicted in tales passed down through generations in these Irish coastal communities. The contrasting depictions of male and female Merrows is interesting because they reflect the dual nature of the sea. So female Merrows are beautiful and like nurturing and loving and sweet, whereas male Merrows tend to be very like brutal and scary and ugly.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's like the duality of the sea. The sea can be beautiful and calm and nurturing, but it can also be scary and stormy. And it's a way for it's sort of a plot device for the stories, because the male Merrow's fearsome appearance and ruthless nature make them less desirable, which is why, according to legend, female Merrows are said to seek out relationships with human men.
Oh.
Because they're like, our boys ain't all that. Let's see what you human guys can do.
It makes me think of 90 Day Fiance, where it's like somebody is so set on a country. They're like, Portuguese men are different. And it's like, okay.
What are you basing this on?
Yeah. It's like,
have you met all of them?
Right. It's like they're all different, just like they're all different in the US too.
From Volume 6 of the Schools Collection, page 85, recorded in 1930s Ireland, comes the tale of a mermaid who frequented the coast of Renvyle. This mermaid was much like a woman, save for a swimming tail that she could remove at will. On sunny days she would be found on the rocks, her tail set aside as she basked in the sun. It was said that, if someone stumbled upon her while her tail was off, capturing her was quite simple. One such tale involves a man from Clare Island named Tull. He discovered the mermaid sunning herself with her tail beside her and, seizing the opportunity, took her home with him. He hid her away and married her, and they had 2 children. Over time, however, the mermaid grew weary of her life on land and longed to return to the sea. Tull, unwilling to reveal where he had hidden her tail, prevented her escape. Completely desperate, the mermaid set fire to their home, hoping the blaze would reveal her tail, which was concealed in the thatch roof. As soon as the fire touched it, she sensed her tail's location, grabbed it, and fled towards the sea. Tull, returning from the fields, saw her running and pursued her, but she reached the water first. With a final glance and a splash of water, she bid him farewell and vanished into the ocean. The descendants of Tull's mermaid wife were said to have cold feet, and many of them eventually moved to the island of Inishturk and are known locally in the island as Bonu Nukosfur, which means those with cold feet.
Okay, but if she takes her tail off, does she just not have a lower half of her body, or are there legs underneath?
I think she has legs underneath because she goes on to bear children. He hides her tail, which is men just taking women's freaking autonomy away.
We've all heard the story before.
Yeah.
But how's she running without or with a tail?
Well, I think she's like carrying it along with her.
Okay, because I'm
Like,
just
she's-
like,
yeah.
I have so many questions about this story and how it's actually working out.
So when she vanishes into the ocean, he's just left holding the babies. And as I said, God forbid she wants a life of her own, but like that's like it's a way of villainizing the mermaids.
Right.
Obviously, the worst thing that could be thought of a woman would be abandoning her children.
They're like,
That
oh my
she didn't want to
God.
have in the first place.
I like forced her to have these kids and now she doesn't want to take care of them.
Yeah, it's like I held her captive and wouldn't let her have her tail, and now she wants to leave me.
What the fuck?
But I thought the very last line was cute. It was the descendants of like, so Tool is a surname. The descendants in that region are said to always have cold feet, and they're just known around the region in the island where they live as those with cold feet.
So funny.
Yeah, that's the lasting impression, because their mother or great-great-grandmother or whatever was a mermaid, like way back in their lineage.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're still suffering.
Right, and then we go to Western Europe. So Melusine is a Starbucks logo. Just kidding, but she is the Starbucks logo.
I was going to say, is Melusine a specific siren?
She's a specific mermaid. A lot of people apparently think that the Starbucks logo is a siren,
Yeah.
but it's actually a mermaid with two tails.
Okay. So
Called
it's not a
Melusine.
siren. Because that's what I always heard, is that it was a siren.
Yeah, me too. So the Starbucks is like from Moby Dick, Starbuck. That's like a character in Moby Dick.
Okay.
That's what they named it after. And so they were like, we're going to pick something like sea-like to be the logo. So they picked Melusine, who gets misattributed to being a siren all these years. I didn't know that until I was researching this. I always thought that she was a siren too. So what she technically is a water fae from medieval European folklore, often depicted with a serpent or fish tail, sometimes two tails, and occasionally wings. Legends of Melusine vary across Hungary, France, and Germany, but the most famous tale portrays her as a willful girl who, after attempting to avenge her fairy mother against her human father, it's a very complicated family. I had to watch a video on this. It's like soap opera.
Oh no.
Basically, there was like a custom back in medieval times that after a woman gave birth, she had to be left alone completely and only attended by female servants. It was called resting in taboo. Melusine's mother had told Melusine's father he was not to look upon her like when she was basically giving birth and after she gave birth. She gave birth to triplets, and he got so excited when he heard that she was having triplets that he ran into the room and looked at her. She had basically went nuts, and she like banished him, and she ran off with the 3 kids. So Melusine grows up and she's like, I can't believe my father did this. She tries to get vengeance on him. And it's a complex relationship because Melusine's mother punishes Melusine for trying to get vengeance on her father.
Wow.
Because she's like, no, this is between me and him. You don't get involved in this. So to teach her a lesson, Melusine's mother curses her to turn into a half serpent every Saturday.
No, and then she's waking up in the morning like, it's Serpent Saturday. Clinging on like banging on pots and pans.
Yeah, it sounds like this weird offer that's going on at like a fish restaurant.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like Serpent Saturday. So in the 14th century tale by Jean d'Arras, Melusine marries a nobleman called Raymondin on the condition that he must never see her on Saturdays. So this was the mother like saying that, you'll be able to walk around and be like fine the rest of the week, but your tail's coming back on Saturdays. And the condition is you'll only have to be a serpent on Saturdays if you can get a man to agree or to give you complete privacy on Saturdays, and like that you don't have to do anything and he doesn't have to have anything to do with you. And he agrees, and for a decade, he just never sees her on Saturdays. And then his family, because it's always the in-laws, then his family gets involved and they're like, this is weird. Like, why can you never go see her on Saturdays? And he's like, that is weird. And then he decides to go spy on her. And he sees her on a Saturday. And he sees her tail.
Just leave her alone, man.
Yeah. She completely freaks out. She grows serpent's wings. because the curse or the promise has been broken. And she flies out the window, and then she leaves him, and she only returns to visit her children, or, and this is the metal part, fulfill her curse by warning noble families in France of death or changes in fortune. So she basically becomes like a harbinger.
Wow.
Living out as like a serpent dragon tail woman.
So cool. Although I would like to say when it's like, oh, you can't see her on Saturdays, I feel like I also would maybe start to become suspicious. Like, you got a second family?
You just know it's the women going like, this is weird. Like, why can you not see her on Saturdays?
Right.
Like, the men are probably just like, oh, women stuff.
Right. They're like, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
But like his sister's probably like, no, where's she going?
Yeah, they're like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Does she, like, as you say, have a second family? Does she have some sort of job? Is she a stripper? Whatever.
Oh, does she strip on Saturdays?
And of course, because we're in Western Europe, we have to talk about one of the most iconic mermaid tales from this region, Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, published in 1837. The story has inspired countless adaptations, including the beloved Disney animated film of 1989. I did not know it was that old.
Yeah, me either.
So Andersen's tale drew heavily from Frederick de la Motte Fouquet's 1811 romantic novel Undine, where a water fairy named Undine is adopted by a fisherman as his wife in Austria. Undine becomes human when she falls in love with a man, but is doomed to die if he is unfaithful to her. Like, this is the thing. Like, why are we even held accountable for men's behavior?
That's the worst.
Isn't that like, I feel like that's...
Sorry.
That's an allegory. That's just the way the world is, isn't it? And what really gets me is when, say like when there's, from listening to true crime, when there's like a serial killer and they talk about how terrible his mother was, and you're just like, okay, but he's the one who killed all those people.
Right.
Plenty of people have awful mothers.
Right. Yeah, it's like, well, it was her fault.
Yeah.
Or when they have like a wife who's terrible, and they're like, well, she drove him to madness. No. I mean, there's an element of that's true, yes.
Plenty of people have terrible wives.
Right, and you can kind of maybe turn into an asshole because of it, but like killing somebody?
Yeah.
That's on you, bud.
Or like the one that like keeps being pointed out, and every time I see it, I'm like, yes. Like the whole single mom.
Oh, yeah.
And like people make fun of single moms, and it's like, the guy left. Why are you making fun of her? Why is this
why are we making fun of the person who's a victim?
Yeah. Making fun of the one who stayed and like was a parent.
Yeah, that's something that really, really gets to me when people are like, oh, she has daddy issues. And I'm like,
yes.
Whose fault is that?
Yes. Oh my God.
It's the dad's fault.
Yes. I'm so glad like
anyway,
we as a society are pointing that out and like hopefully growing past it a little bit.
I have my hands clenched together underneath my desk because it makes me so mad.
Me too. Like, it's so infuriating because it's like once it's pointed out, you're just like, yeah, like why do we frame it that way?
Ugh,
we know why.
disgusting.
It's misogyny.
Right.
So yes, Undine is doomed to die if her deadbeat guy is unfaithful to her. Obviously that was like the inspiration for The Little Mermaid, because the whole like she has to like make him love her and all of that. While Disney's version ends with a happy marriage, Hans Christian Andersen's version, side note to listeners, look up Hans Christian Andersen. He is an absolute like hot mess express. Holy shit.
Oh no.
He basically invited himself to go live with Charles Dickens, and Charles Dickens is like, I can't get rid of him. I think it was this whole...
Oh, is that... I feel like I just saw a meme about where he was like crying on the lawn or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's a hot mess express. It's hilarious. But anyway, Hans Christian Andersen's original tale is a lot more somber than the Disney version. Surprise, surprise. In his tale, the mermaid endures great pain to gain legs, loses her prince to another, and ultimately sacrifices herself to join the spirits of the air. I think like the quote was like, it felt like she was walking on knives. That was the pain she had when she had her legs on, which is like, I know beauty is pain, girls, but fucking hell.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't wear heels.
I think a lot of my heel days are behind me, unless they're like platforms or my very expensive wedding shoes. I'm just wearing them out of spite at this point.
Yeah. My wedding shoes were like a 1/2-inch wedge. They were so, like, it was like the smallest heel that I could get.
Yeah, see, that's smart. Like, I just wanted beautiful shoes, and I'm like, well, I'm never going to let myself buy these any other time, so I'm going to spend a lot of money on them.
I have 100% given up on heels.
Yeah. I do love platforms, though, because platforms, I can run in those. They actually feel completely fine. I'm glad that they're back in fashion. I missed when they went out of fashion.
Cut to, like, next week, you roll your ankle.
Yeah. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
My cats?
Is that a cat?
Yeah, that's Ripley.
Or is it a ghost? Just kidding.
I'll leave it in if it can be picked up on my microphone, because my God, like, I guarantee you there's nothing happening as well. It's just Ripley, like, being dramatic. Anyway. She does get bullied, but sometimes she just brings it on herself.
Wow, after all this conversation we had.
I've seen her in action, okay? So we will move over to Eastern Europe / Russia, to the Rusalki. Emily gave us a Slavic tale for her last episode, so we're going back to Slavic mythology now. Rusalki are often translated as mermaids, but they are actually water nymphs with a complex history. They were originally seen as benevolent spirits of fertility and agriculture, but in the 1800s their image darkened. They became known as the vengeful ghosts of women who died by drowning, luring men and children to watery graves out of sorrow and anger. So it sounds a little bit like the Oni women in Japanese folklore.
Yeah.
Different Slavic regions have unique takes on Rusalki. By the Danube River, they're called Vila, beautiful and enchanting, dressed in mist. That just sounds gorgeous, doesn't it? She's dressed in mist.
Yeah.
Known for their bewitching songs.
It just makes me think of like a sheer but like sparkly gown.
Yes, yeah. I feel like somebody, like a fashion designer, would be able to do an amazing like high fashion runway look that's like that. Like, where it looks like mist.
That's right to some people.
In contrast, the Rusalki of northern Russia are depicted as ugly, wild, malicious, and always ready to ambush humans. Despite these differences, all Rusalki are said to entice men, some to enchant, others to torment. Goals. Enchant and torment.
Hashtag goals.
Recorded in the village of Dolgoy. From Maria Mitrofanovna Semenova, born 1928. 2 old ladies were coming from visiting. One of them was our Aunt Shura. They reached the bridge and heard laughter. They became curious and decided that it must be girls fooling around with boys. They came closer and saw a girl standing in the water, shaking her hair and laughing. The laughter was so manic that it was scary. They got frightened and ran away. They ran into someone else's house and to the window, and the girl was scratching her hair and laughing still. How Aunt Shura cursed. The girl plopped into the water and fell silent, but left her comb on the shore. And in the morning, Aunt Shura went for water and brought the comb home with her. And every night, that girl would not let her sleep. She would knock on the window and then on the door, moving between them, keeping her awake. Aunt Shura told an old man of her plight, and he said to her, "Give the comb back, girl, or the mermaid will give you no life." The old woman who stole the comb left it back where she found it, and that girl stopped coming to her. Parallels the Banshee. Left her comb, one of the women took the comb and then is harassed for several nights by the Rusalki, who is like knocking on her window and knocking on her doors.
Yeah, that is. It's like exactly like the Banshee.
I wonder like how that tale, like how they're connected. Like, did somebody travel? Did it like, is it word of mouth? How did it make it all the way to Russia? Because it's weird. It's too close for like it to be a coincidental theme.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It makes me think of the I feel like we've talked about the IT crowd on this show before.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the episode where that one guy thinks that Jen is dead, and he's he's like, yeah, I just feel really bad because I was the last person to sleep with her. Do you remember this episode?
Yes,
and then,
I
like,
remember.
she's outside of his house in the rain, like, screaming, and she's like, I never slept with you! And he thinks it's the ghost.
Yeah.
That's how I'm imagining the banshee in this one being just like, give me my comb!
Yeah. Like, fuck you, man. So the Rusalki are such a big part of the folklore and culture in these areas that during Rusalki week, which marks the start of summer, Rusalki are believed to emerge from the water and perch in weeping willows and birch trees by day. Which, what an amazing image.
Yeah.
Just crawling out of the water, dripping wet to go sit in a tree. At night, they dance in moonlit rings, and anyone who joins them is doomed to dance until they die.
Okay.
After their dances, the grass where they trod grows thicker. This is just, it's like, you can see the whole fae element of this.
Yeah.
It's like, dance until you're dead. Off with your head. In western and southern Russia, there was a ritual of seeing off the mermaid at the end of Rusalki week. Villagers would dress a scarecrow or sometimes the most, quote, lively woman in the village to represent the Rusalka, ceremonially bidding farewell to her, and in some areas to the Rusalim, the male counterpart of the spirit. It's just cooler if she's a woman.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to hear stuff about men. I'm just kind of over it.
Yeah. We've had enough. They've had their time.
Was that a clue? Just kidding.
Let's go into contemporary mermaids, because I feel like for a while there online, there was a lot of people like claiming they'd gotten footage of mermaids. There were like videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So sightings have been documented by the news, scuba divers, military and tourists right up to contemporary times. So our first tale is from Hawaii. For over 50 years, whispers of a mermaid off Hawaii's Big Island were often dismissed, until dive boat captain Jeff Liker captured her on film. On April 12, 1998, Liker, then 43, and 6 divers from Jack's diving locker were exploring the ocean near Kona when they spotted the elusive Kaiwi Point mermaid. I'd heard about her before, says Liker. Most of us who are out in these waters regularly have heard stories, but I've never seen her until that morning. As dolphins played around their boat, one of the divers shouted in excitement. I couldn't believe what I saw. There, not 10 feet from the bow, was what looked like a nude woman. She had long, flowing hair and one of the most beautiful faces I've ever seen. Liker continued, but there's no way a human being could be swimming so fast. She was keeping right up with the dolphins. Then she leapt into the air and my heart almost gave out on me. The entire lower half of her was covered with scales and tapered back into a huge fishtail. The mermaid vanished, but the surprises weren't over. Later that day, while photographing fish, Liker felt something brush against his leg. She shot by me like a streak of lightning, then turned and came back past me, swimming the other way. I just aimed the camera and started snapping pictures. Liker's photos were reportedly analysed by 3 photography labs, all confirming their authenticity. The images of Kaiwi Point Mermaid, from a photography standpoint at least, have all been verified as genuine.
I feel like I've seen the picture.
Yeah, that you will have seen the picture. It's quite a famous one. I always thought it was just like a Photoshop picture, but this is apparently the picture. I would just like to add that they were verified by Weekly World News. It's genuine, and that's who verified them. So if you hark back to our Appalachia episode with Bat Boy, you know the deal with Weekly World News.
What's this guy's name again? I'm trying to look up the...
Liker, Leicher.
Okay. Well, yeah, it could be somebody in a costume, too, if it wasn't altered.
Yeah.
But there was some guy... was drowning. I wish I could remember the specifics of the story. Some guy was drowning, and there were women who were practicing like a synchronized swim thing, but they were dressed like mermaids.
Oh,
and
wow.
they went and they
No, I never
saved
heard
this guy, and he thought he was getting rescued by mermaids.
That's amazing.
So funny.
That would just make your day anyway. Like,
right?
Obviously being saved,
even
but like
if
it's like
fake.
the mermaids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's actually very sweet.
Yeah.
Very wholesome. The next contemporary mermaid tale is from Zimbabwe, where some dam workers might have had a very creative excuse to not finish their work. In 2012, deep within Zimbabwe's heartland, a group of dam workers faced an unforeseen challenge while installing a vital water pump meant to nurture local agriculture. As they delved into the murky depths to clear a blockage, they encountered something that chilled them to the bone. Evidence of mermaids. When the divers and workers surfaced, their faces were pale with fear, and they vowed never to return to the depths. Their tales were of mermaids guarding the waters with a mystical, otherworldly presence. They were spooked beyond measure. Sam Sipepa Nkomo, the Water Resource Minister, advised the Senate to seek the aid of village chiefs who could perform an ancient ritual to appease the water spirits and soothe the workers' anxiety. Despite the ritual, which involved sacred rites intended to calm the mermaids' spirits, the workers' terror persevered. Doubting the tales as a mere superstition, the government enlisted non-local hands to complete the task. Yet these new workers too were confronted by the eerie presence and refused to continue. Finally, in 2017, after all of that delay, the dam became functional. Traditional healers were brought in to perform a grand ceremony, slaughtering cattle and even brewing beer in a sacred offering to the water spirits. The spirits were seemingly appeased, and the dam, now free of its haunting blockage, flows, bringing life and prosperity to the land.
Oh my goodness. That's intense.
It is intense. I like that the mermaids like beer, though.
And cattle.
Like cattle, it's like...
What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, it's
Underwater.
like, Jesus, take them to, like, New Orleans and, like, take them to a really good barbecue place that has nice beer, and
like
they're going to be like, oh, nice.
Yeah. It's just weird that they would like cattle and they're in the water.
Yeah.
You'd think they would be like,
just...
give me a salmon.
Is it the novelty? They're just like, oh, we don't have those here.
It moves.
It's like me seeing a raccoon. I'm like, oh, we don't have those here.
You don't?
No, we don't have raccoons.
Oh, wow.
We have badgers.
And I think we don't have badgers here. At least not in the area I live.
Yeah, I've definitely seen strange American badgers. Because they look different to the badgers that we have.
That sounded like a TV show or something.
Strange American badgers. Yeah,
I've seen Strange American badgers.
What even would that show be? Would it be like a...
Trailer.
It sounds like
it's like white trash.
A police procedural. White trash, Strange American... Like Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Strange American badgers.
Yeah.
I can't believe it took until 2017 for them to get that dam working. But do you know what? Good for them.
Good for the mermaids.
Either way, if it was mermaids or if it was just a very creative excuse not to do any work, you gotta hand it to them, you know?
Yeah.
So mermaids today stay in the public conscious. More recently, the figure has been adopted by the Transgender Youth Network, Mermaids UK. Founded in 1995, this organisation supports children and young people who are transgender and or gender diverse. The symbol of the mermaid provides a potent symbol to the community due to the mermaid's ability to transform. With the absence of physical genitalia, the sex of the mermaid is irrelevant, which I thought was very sweet. It's a cool little, like, their mascot. There's also the question posed, like, if you Google it, are mermaids lucky? So if you listen to our pine cones on maritime superstitions, you will know the answer to that. It's our companion episode and it should already be on your feed if you haven't listened to it already. I know some of y'all are skipping over our pine cones episodes. You shouldn't. because they're good. And I get to have fun with sound effects.
And you're missing out.
And we are going to close off with the ultimate question. Are mermaids real? Well, for some reason, the American government organization, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, has an entire page about this. And they literally say, quote, no evidence of aquatic humanoids has ever been found.
Thank you.
I love that they have a page for this.
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. What a mouthful.
Because I was like, who is the NOAA? And I was like, oh shit, these are official. So that is my mermaids episode. I had a lot of fun with that.
I enjoyed it.
And I'll probably eventually do a Selkies episode. That could be a completely separate one.
For sure.
Because Selkies have there's a lot of like Scottish folktales and stuff around Selkies. Which would have taken far too much time. Selkies. And the Mermen. We don't forget the Mermen. We're an equal opportunities podcast. What do we always say? We love scary bitches.
Yeah, basically. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for listening. I hope it is autumnal wherever you are. I hope it's not boiling heat, and that you get some wear out of your nice cardigan. I bought a nice new cardigan that I can't wait to wear.
Ooh.
And you get some boots, and you get some pumpkin spice wherever the hell you want. Stick it up your butt. I don't care, as long as you like it. And on that note, I have been Niamh.
I'm Emily.
And fuck yeah, folklore.
Fuck yeah, folklore. Bye, everybody.
Bye.